More often than not on this channel, we talk about how music affects us. We talk about how these songs tend to make us feel, as opposed to necessarily getting into the core dynamics and the musician's side of things. And that's no insult to the musicians themselves. It's just that one department is what I'm better suited to talk about than the other. So here with Motorhead, we have a classic act. We have one that's ageless, timeless. Lemmy might be a cyborg, although a cyborg that has had health problems in the past year. So a lot of people went into Bad Magic, which is the album here in 2015, with a little bit of concern, which is odd because in spite of all of that, after Aftershock a couple of years back, I think 2013, I went into this with great expectations, knowing that it was probably going to be a fun-filled metal album that has all of the classic Motorhead staples to it. And I think what a lot more people were concerned about is how Lemmy's voice was going to sound. I'm not as concerned about that as I am whether or not these guys still know how to write kick-ass tunes, as Aftershock was able to really display whenever it came out. So Bad Magic had a little bit to prove, but not very much. Considering these guys are so classic, and considering they're so timeless, there's a good chance that there's going to be a wide audience out there that will love this simply because it has Motorhead's name on it and Lemmy singing on it. But let's talk about this album a little bit. Victory or Die starts this one off, and it does so with enough promise. This is certainly a very fun opener. It's one that definitely grabs your attention immediately whenever it comes on over your playback device. And that's what you want with a great first song with a band such as Motorhead. You need to have that attention grabber, something that grips you the minute that you come in. That way it can continue to hold you throughout the course of the entire ride. If there's one thing that I'll say comparatively between Aftershock and this album, is that Aftershock's work just all seemed like the band was writing on Full Tilt Boogie and were willing to experiment a little bit with their sound, just minor tweaks here and there. Nothing that's all of that wild and crazy. They didn't decide to go space metal or some junk like that. And it was something that worked out very nicely for them. It gave them this reinvigorated edge, a great feeling, and once again sort of reinforced that timeless idea. On Bad Magic, they sort of continue with what Aftershock was going for. I see it as a continuation of that work as opposed to trying to re-break the mold once again. Thunder and Lightning and Firestorm Hotel don't necessarily bring anything brand new to the table, but they satisfy as just great rock and roll songs that have that metal heaviness, not to mention that extra fuzz, that extra grime that Motorhead has always been known for within their production. Even as their production has escalated and gotten better through the years, there's still just a bevy of chaos and a bevy of just fuzz and crust that really exist that almost give a lot of Motorhead songs a very punk and roll or punk and metal aesthetic to it, which has always given them kind of an edge over some other groups. I have to talk about one particular song, and we're getting all the way down to track number 9, and that's Till the End. This is a track where things really do take a turn. This is one where Lemmy and the boys decide to tone things down a little bit and almost write what would kind of be, I don't want to say a ballad, because this is not a ballad by any stretch of the imagination, but a slower, more impassioned, more real track, I guess, and the way in which the word real is used, such as that just got real, bro, or whatever, here in 2015. This is a song that's very much Lemmy being extremely retrospective about his life and speaking about he now knows sort of what he wants and that he's the type of person that will be with you and be your friend till the end. It's a song about loyalty, and it's a song about not taking anybody's shit. Whenever you consider some of the lyricism, don't tell me what to do, my friend, you'll break more hearts than you can mend. I mean, that just is that's the opening words of this song, so it already has just a poignant, huge statement that is opening up this track. The guitar solo work and just the overall feel of this song is wonderful. It's the type of track that impassioned Motorhead fans may actually shed a tear to if they don't think that it's Motorhead going soft, which I highly doubt that you'll do that. I think you have a little bit more respect for Lemmy and the boys, plus they have done slower songs before, and it still rocks really, really hard, so there's absolutely no cause for concern, no need for alarm. After that, it just seems like the guys ran out of gas a little bit until you get to the very final cut on this album, which is a cover. It's a cover of Symphony for the Devil, which was originally penned, of course, by the Rolling Stones. It's very interesting and unique to hear Lemmy and the boys do their take of this song. It's one where Lemmy's singing voice is sort of more tempered down as opposed to having that raspily goodness to it. It's instead one that focuses more heavily on trying to give it that old school rock and roll aesthetic, and it works once again for the guys, as this cover, while it may not be necessarily the best cover of the song out there, but it is very respectful, it does it justice, and it's really starting to showcase that this band can touch just a little bit of anything and maybe tweak it just a little bit to suit Lemmy's voice or to suit the tone of the band, and they could probably do something. They could probably do, you know, a Drake song and make it sound much better than fucking Drake did, but that's just personal opinion. But I think that they're just that talented of a group, even though their stuff may seem extremely simple. You know, if you're looking for, you know, some sort of depth on this album, you're going to get it in very small doses. The lyricism isn't necessarily going to overburden you with ridiculous sentiments and things like that. This is very direct, this is in your face, and that's true even in Till the End, where despite the poignancy of the statements, they're ones that are handled with a lot of sincerity and in-your-face direction, as opposed to kind of flowering around a little bit. Well, I don't think this album is as good as Aftershock. It's still just as fun to listen to. That's the one thing that I will say. It's a very fun listen. It's got some strong material on it that is represented on it, and the band still has that timeless, ageless feel to them, even though Lemmy's voice does seem to be getting a little bit more raspily, getting a little bit weaker as time progresses. He still is going out there not giving a fuck, putting the middle finger to his own self and saying that he's going to be doing this until he's dead. I would give the album an 82 out of 100. I highly recommend this for any Motorhead fan. I highly recommend this really for any metalhead. This is essential listening right here, simply because this timeless band is still releasing great material. Think about whenever 13 came out by Black Sabbath. It's very similar to that, where you gotta have this album simply because these guys are still kicking ass. I want to know what you guys think about Bad Magic. Let me know in the comments below. My name is coverkillernation, in case you didn't catch that at the beginning or if I didn't say it. And if you like what you just heard, hit the subscribe button down there. Don't forget to leave a like or a dislike. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Peace.